Hi, this is Dan Stewart, and this is your NORAM Asset Management Market Update, Thursday, September 7, 2010. The market sold off today. The Dow was down 107 points to 10,340, the S&P down 13 to 1091, and the NASDAQ down 25 to 2208. The S&P and the NASDAQ were both down well over 1%. The Dow was down right at 1%. Volume on the big board was a little over 3 billion shares, and on the NASDAQ it was 1.6 billion. Gold was up $8.10 to $12.57, up 2/3%. Silver was down 3 cents to $19.88, still knocking on that $20 an ounce mark. Oil was down 93 cents to $73.67, and copper was down 4 cents to $3.45. That's 1.25% for copper. 5-year treasuries 1.4%, 10-year treasuries 2.6%, and 30-year treasuries 3.67%. Yields were down and prices were up. There was a little bit of a flight to quality because people were scared. And it's all about the European banks again. Wait a minute. I thought that problem was behind us. I thought it was over. Apparently not. Who knew? Oh, that's right, we did. We've been telling you all along. They're just brushing it under the rug. And they were glad about the BP oil spill because that put them on the second page. Well, guess what? The well's been plugged and now they're back on the first page. In fact, the Wall Street Journal had a front page article today talking about the bank stress test. Remember that one? That hall pass they got? Where it wasn't a black swan event, but just a little modest slowdown of GDP growth by 2 or 3%. They were supposed to disclose all of their sovereign debt. So apparently they weren't all that forthcoming. In fact, it wasn't disclosure. It was lack of disclosure. The US dollar was up against the euro and the pound, again because it looks like the European continent may be in a little bit of trouble. But the dollar was down once again against the yen. In fact, the ratio is 83.83. $1 for a little over 83 yen. The Japanese are desperate to let their yen slide against other currencies, and it's just not happening. What's worse is with their low interest rates, the carry trade keeps going on, and investors are borrowing with Japanese yen and then investing in higher yielding assets, driving up the demand for the yen. The Japanese government can't get it right, and it's backfiring. Over in Europe, it was down across the board, with the Euro Stoxx 50 in France down both 1%, Italy and Spain down 1.25%. The rest were down well over 0.5%. Again, it's the fears that the banks over in Europe have too much sovereign debt. And Greece is restructuring their cabinet. Could there be trouble in paradise? It was mixed over in Asia. The Japanese stock market was down almost 1%. Shanghai, Hong Kong, and India were up right around 0.25%, and the rest were flat to down marginally. Again, it's over in Asia, it's yen worries, although steel stocks over on the Japanese market were up with expectations of higher prices and inflation. And folks, don't forget, if you live in the DFW area, sign up for our Investor Appreciation Night this Thursday night on September 9th. So go to thewallstreetshuffle.com and register if you'd like to come. This has been Dan Stewart for your NORAM Asset Management Market Update, Tuesday, September 7th, 2010.